national anthem for Guyana.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. This is Chris Maloney coming to you from Spring City, Pennsylvania. We're at the training center, and we are in the second to the last game of the first day of the 2021 Pan American Cup, an international tournament which will determine which teams fill out the rosters for the 2022 games at the World Cup, which will take place in Belgium in February of 2022. Teams in this game: Guyana, they are in the red tops, against Argentina in the blue. Umpiring on the far side, Donnie Gobinsing from Trinidad Tobago, and on this side, Natalia Loderero. She is from Uruguay. And there's the pushback, starting the second to the last game. On today's schedule, we've had men's and women's competition. Argentina starts with possession and maintains it. They take the ball down the right side of their attack, passing the ball across the circle, but picked up by Guyana. And the umpire sees the first foul, I think indicating a hit from the Argentine team, and so play to Guyana. A little backstory on this team from Guyana: their goalkeeper unfortunately ended up being sick and was not able to compete, and so the goalkeeper's been replaced by the team manager. Now, earlier today, Guyana lost a storm of a game against them by the USA. The score was 22-2. So Guyana had scored 2 goals coming late in the game, so they got themselves sort of closer as the game went on. And so perhaps they'll be able to give Argentina a good fight here in the first period of this game. But the first goal goes to Argentina. Ball played into the circle and then passed off to the left side of the attack. Karina Gunsman with the goal. Gobind Singh indicating play on, raising his hands above his head. Usually the umpire will do that if the players think maybe there was a foul. Here's another scoring opportunity. And eventually the ball goes through the feet of the goalkeeper. And so Argentina up to a quick 2-goal lead. If you're new to the indoor game, you might be able to notice that the sticks that the players are using are very thin. And a lot of people will call those an indoor stick. But under the rules, there's actually no difference in the specifications guiding the indoor and outdoor sticks. Just that the outdoor stick is designed with the ability to hit the ball, and they're relatively heavy compared to an indoor stick, which is near paper thin. You just don't need to carry the weight around with you all the time if you're not allowed to hit the ball. The umpire indicating they wanted it to be clear that the ball was being taken from the center line, meaning that it would fall under the requirements for indirect circle entry. Argentina at the top of the circle. Clearly, the players expected her teammate to zig when she zagged and then sent the ball across the end line. Argentina putting the ball to herself, a little self-pass against the boards, and back to the deep defender. Deflection pass up to the right side, inside the circle. Shot was wide and considered dangerous. You are allowed to lift the ball in indoor hockey when you're taking a shot on goal. But otherwise, lifts and other 3D skills are not allowed. You're also not allowed to hit the ball. You're only allowed to push the ball. Second whistle by the umpire to indicate position for the restart. Pass up against the board, goes through two Argentine players. Guyana with possession in the circle, backing out. Possession to Argentina. Really have to thank all the volunteers that are here today making this tournament possible. In all kinds of roles. Umpire indicating danger. And the ball apparently not shot directly on the goal mouth. The goal mouth in the indoor game is about 25% smaller than the outdoor game. And yet still there are many more goals scored in indoor hockey than the outdoor version of the game, which is just called hockey. Strong whistle by the umpire for a 3-meter violation. That strong whistle usually indicates that if you were to do that again, there would be a more severe penalty applied. Umpire emphasizing that point. Green card to Argentina. 1 minute suspension. Green cards are 1 minute suspensions. 2 minute suspensions for a yellow card. And that's where the yellow card begins. Ball hard across the circle, looking for a receiver, but none was there. Nice pass along the back line. Dangerous play by Argentina, trying to play through a player rather than around her. Saved by the keeper. We are close to getting a bully. No, the ball is free. Then play continued without having to call a bully. Argentina bringing the ball down on the left side of their attack. And a penalty corner, the umpire indicating that there was pushing. Body contact is not allowed. international signal for pushing is the international signal for pushing. A lot of times the umpires will use a secondary signal to communicate to everybody what the point of the foul was. And Argentina with their goal on the penalty corner. Argentina with the spin move on the left side of the attack. A foot in the circle leads to another penalty corner for Argentina. The Guyana defenders putting on their protective equipment. They're allowed to put on face masks, knee pads, and other equipment. All of that has to come off after the penalty corner is completed. Waiting for the countdown timer to reach. There it is. The umpire then can blow the whistle. And a straight shot leads to the fourth goal for Argentina. We have 2 minutes to go in this first period. And a penalty corner called there. The ball was outside the circle, but an intentional foul outside the circle and inside the half of the court is penalized with the reward of a penalty corner. Countdown timer is has almost expired. There'll be a high-pitched sound. You might be able to hear it. Then the umpire blows the whistle. That was causing some trouble at the beginning of the tournament, and a penalty stroke as that was stopped by the body of the player from Guyana. Penalty stroke indicated when the umpire uses one hand to point at the ground and the other hand up in the air. The hand up in the air is a signal to the timer to stop the clock. And the hand pointing at the ground is basically indicating to put the ball on the penalty stroke mark, which is 7 meters from the goal line in indoor hockey. And the result is a goal. One minute to go in the first period. In this, the second to the last game on today's schedule. The next game will be a men's division game. It'll take place at 7 o'clock, or 7:15, I mean. Just 20 seconds to go. Argentina brings the ball in on the right side and releases the shot across the goal, but to no effect. The Pan American Field Hockey Organization would like to thank its supporters, Forbix, which creates competition surfaces, Brightness, which creates lightning protection systems for competition sites. Of course, we don't need that indoors except for the protection of the facility, and Drava, an apparel provider for these games. It's a beautiful day here in Spring City, Pennsylvania, USA. Temperatures mid to high 70s, bright and sunny all day long. Of course, we are inside this specially designed just for indoor hockey competition site. There's just 1 minute in between each of the first and second and third and fourth periods, each being 10 minutes long. Halftime is 5 minutes. The umpires are working to correct something with their communications equipment. Judy Yurkovsky is the reserve umpire, and she was out there with the assigned umpires trying to get things sorted out. And another penalty corner again for push indicated by the umpire with the free hand. So a lot of times the player will be tracking the ball with the stick on the ground, held by the left hand, and the right hand just kind of reaches out, finds a spot on the attacker, even though the gentlest of pushes can send the attacker tumbling. Saved on the line by the Guyana player. It bounced over the end line, and so the ball put back into play by Argentina at the center line. The umpire indicating the ball was lifted, at first signaling penalty corner, but a lift indicated by palms facing each other in front of the chest. You're not allowed to lift the ball unless you're in the process of taking a shot. So that ball came off of the end line back towards the top of the circle. There's obviously no way that's the shot. Argentina brought the ball off of the sideboard into the circle on the right-hand side, passed back to the center of the circle where it was redirected into the goal. Guyana with a deep pass all the way back to their deep defender. Argentina applying pressure right away and wins possession. Ball back and then back again for Argentina. Julia Gomes with the ball. Just joining us, the score is 6-0. Argentina in the light blue is playing against Guyana, who is in the red tops, green socks. A little confusion there from the Argentina players. Very easy to get confused here in terms of, well, I thought she was going to go left, but she went right. Seeing a great example of some really fast play here by the team from Argentina, working against the team from Guyana. Back hand flick towards the goal. Guyana with possession inside the circle. They did score twice against the USA. But the ball turned over to Argentina on the foul. Guyana's goals against the USA came late in the game. We're just in the middle of the second period here. So whenever there's a breach of the rules, the play has to be restarted within playing distance of where that breach took place, and that's why the umpire was repositioning the team from Argentina to the center of the pitch, halfway in between the sidelines. Guyana bringing the ball past the center line, but possession to Argentina right away. I believe the yellow card was for hitting the ball. There is no accepted signal for hitting, so umpires usually will just mimic hitting with their hands. Great stick work by the Guyanan player right at the top of the circle, but stolen away by Argentina. Brought down to the other end of the court very quickly. Guyana penetrated the circle there, but only by giving the ball to Argentina. That hard pass into the circle was hoping for a deflection from an Argentina teammate. Ball stolen away by Guyana. So she made a nice dodge but pushed the ball far away, and so There was no obstruction or opportunity for obstruction there because there was really no opportunity to regain possession. Two minutes to go in the first half. Quick spin move by the team from Argentina. Nice deflection pass to the right side. Guyana intercepted the cross into the circle with 1 minute to go. Once again, the time is stopped at the award of a penalty corner. The clock is restarted when the umpire blows their whistle. 30 seconds is given to the teams, and then the whistle is blown. And the ball put into the back of the net by Argentina. We're approaching halftime. Argentina with plenty of time to score. The umpire decided to allow play to continue, and now a penalty corner. So folks at home might have seen that the ball went into the feet of one of the players from Guyana, but the ball fell into possession of Argentina. So the umpire decided not to blow the whistle. Argentina got possession of the ball, which led to the award of this penalty corner. Just 3 seconds to go. Even if the horn sounds, play will continue until the end of the penalty corner, which ended very quickly with a flick from the attacking player. So we have a 5-minute halftime. The score is 8-0. 8 has been scored by Argentina in the blue uniforms. Guyana is in the red top, black skirts, and green socks. You are watching the 2021 Indoor Pan Am Cup. This is the women's division, obviously. The men's division's last game will commence after this one, starting at 7:15. So set the alarm on your smart speaker to ring at 7:14 and rejoin us for the start of the last game of the men's competition. Still a long way to go in this game. Again, the champions from this tournament will earn the berth at the 2022 World Cup that will take place in Belgium in February. 11 teams have already won slots there. This tournament will determine the 12th team on the men's roster and the 12th team on the women's roster of teams. So we'll be back after a short break. So the second half starts as the first half ended, with Argentina on attack. Guyana with possession. They're in the red, black, and green uniforms. Argentina in the light blue uniforms, adorned with pink stripes down the sides and across the tops of their socks. It is Argentina that is in the lead by a score of 8-0. It's at the start of the third period. Nice wall pass by Guyana. Umpire directing the players as to where to restart. The player seemingly took the approach of, well, is this close enough? And the umpire said, no, not close enough. Argentina's hard pass up the court deflected high into the air, and that is a penalty against the deflector. Nice receipt and backhands flick by the team who currently has the lead now of 9-0, Argentina. Argentina seemingly forgot that they have to be 3 meters away. Big whistle from the umpire. although obviously dominating this game, Argentina is not quite having the same level of dominance as the Americans had against Guyana. Nice double spin move there by Argentina. Argentina will face the USA tomorrow at 1:30 in the women's division. The USA women are the reigning champions of this championship. It was last contested in 2017. And the umpire with the opportunity to call the penalty corner says play on. Ball picked up quickly by Argentina. It's a nice spin move, and the ball beat the Guyana goalkeeper on the right side. Umpire again warning Argentina about being 3 meters away. The USA will play Uruguay at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and then face Argentina at 1:30. Argentina will come into that game fresh. The USA should certainly be well rested from an early morning game, but it will be interesting to see if having that early game and then coming to play against Argentina will impact their level of competitiveness. 1 minute to go, and this is the third period of this second to last game on today's schedule. Umpire indicating that the player from Argentina hit the ball. Again, you're not allowed to hit in this game, only push, and if you're shooting on goal, you are allowed to flick. Yellow card shown to the player from Argentina for a 3-meter violation. He has warned the team several times, asking the Guyanan women to wait until he blows the whistle for time in. There's the whistle. So the clock has restarted. 25 seconds to go in the third period. So the third period ends. There will be a 1-minute respite between the third and fourth period. Argentina handling Guyana 11-0 at this point. So even though the circle is smaller and the goal mouth is about 25% smaller, we do tend to see a lot more goals in indoor hockey than compared to 11v11 hockey played outdoors. Earlier today, the team from Guyana lost by a score of 20-2 against the reigning champions of this tournament, the USA. They're having another tough go of it here in this game against Argentina. Currently behind by a score of 11-0. Now, it was in the fourth period that Guyana was able to score against the USA. Argentina's attempt to intercept there went way into the air, and the Argentina player just backed off, knowing that if she attempted to play the ball, it would have been given to Guyana. And a third-party obstruction called there, and so a penalty corner for Guyana. If I remember correctly, it was on a penalty corner that came in the fourth quarter against the USA, where Guyana scored their first goal. Let's see if the fortunes hold again for Guyana. Score their first goal in the fourth quarter on a penalty corner. 30-second countdown clock has just expired. The umpire will blow the whistle to allow the insertion. Now the shot into the goalkeeper. Guyana with possession though. Pass into the circle, nicely done. But danger called against Guyana as he tried to push the ball directly through the player from Argentina rather than go around. Look for Argentina to try a long pass up and look for a deflection in front of the goal. Well, instead, off the boards, Guyana with the easy steal. Oh, and the ball just slips by the right foot of the goalkeeper from Guyana. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this great sport looks for umpires. If you're a player looking for another avenue to pursue, then perhaps umpiring is an opportunity you'd like to try. Any national association will have those opportunities well detailed. There's also the technical path where you can be a technical official. A number of technical officials are appointed to each international game. So you could also look forward to international travel as a technical official or umpire. Perhaps being able to represent your country at the Olympics. The technical officer for this match is Kim Scott. She's from the USA. Miss Scott has a long playing history then decided to, put the work in necessary to be a technical official. Another goal there by Argentina. We've got a Baker dozen of goals on their side of the scoreboard. The scoring judge, speaking of all the scoring that's going on, is Aaron Duduk. Aaron is from the USA. Ariel Knight is the timing judge. She is also from the USA. So again, lots of opportunities for you to be involved in this great sport, let alone working as a volunteer. Help do all the various and sundry little things that makes the tournament successful. This penalty corner for Argentina comes just halfway through the final period of this game. The next game is a men's competition coming up at 7:15, and it should be quite competitive as the USA will take on Canada. And that ball high over the goal cage into the netting. Quick whistle by the umpire gives Guyana possession with leeway to move as opposed to having to fight for the ball after the foul had happened. In the old days, we used to hold our whistle and let the players battle for possession or advantage. But now, with the 3-meter buffer zone, as it were, in indoor or 5 meters outdoors, a lot of times it's better for the umpire just to whistle the thing so that the player who's been disadvantaged by the foul gets a free bit of rain with the ball. You might be able to hear some squeaking. That's coming from the men's teams that are warming up behind me on court number 2. As they get ready for their 7:15 start. At the moment, both teams are dressed in red, Canada and the USA. Canada appears to be in their warm-up gear as opposed to their uniforms. And a penalty corner with the long sweep of the stick, interfering with the attacker's stick. If you don't know what happened on a play, sometimes it's good to just take a gander at the umpire to see if they're giving a secondary signal. Obviously, a lot of times it's totally obvious what happened. Argentina to the top, and that's not allowed because of the bobble. Could have been advantageous to the breach, could have been advantageous to the attacking team. Two minutes to go. 13-0. Argentina in blue is in the lead. Yellow card shown to the player from Argentina for the dangerous play. Again, the danger was that she tried to play the ball through a player rather than around the player. Oh, and lovely pass across the circle from the near side to the far side, and the ball deflected into the goal. And that will bring the score to 14. So obviously, again, a dominant performance by Argentina, but nothing like that of the USA's when they beat the same team by a score of 20-2. The USA will meet Argentina tomorrow at 1:30 in the women's division. Argentina will come into that game fresh. The USA will have played a game early in the morning. At 9 o'clock against Uruguay. "30 seconds. I don't know if you noticed, but Argentina pulled their goalkeeper. And that's the game. 14-0. Argentina wins. Our next game is coming at 7:15, so in about 20 minutes. And that will be the U.S. men's team against the Canadian men's team. So we're going to take a little break here at the 2021 Pan Am Indoor Hockey Championships. This is Chris Maloney. We'll be back at 7:15.